Welcome back everyone to more of our gameplay series of NR2003. In today's video, we're in the Cup Series and we're headed back to Nashville. But instead of headed to the fairgrounds for the short track, we're headed out to Lebanon for the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Now, I was fortunate enough to be in attendance several months ago back during the summertime when all three of NASCAR's top series headed back to the SuperSpeedway for the first time in quite a while. So long ago that I remember when Clint Bowyer got a Busch Series win at this track, and that was before Bowyer was even in the Cup Series full time. So that's how long ago it's been for NASCAR in Nashville. But there are two things that I remember very vividly about that race weekend. Number one was that it was incredibly hot and we were all looking for any way possible to keep out of the sun. There are no trees in that area and on the property, so you're looking for anywhere that you can hide under the grandstands just to keep cool for a few minutes. The second thing I remember is that it put on some great racing. I knew immediately from the moment that Cup practice opened at the track, Kyle Larson pretty much immediately, within the first couple of laps, went straight to the top side, or at least as close to the top as he could get based on where they had the compound applied to the track. And that's when I knew that there were going to be multiple grooves and we were going to see some great racing. So hopefully we're going to see some great racing in today's video. Now keep in mind, this track looks from the aerial view like your traditional 1.5 miles. However, the length of the track is much closer to Darlington. So we're going to spend some time out of the throttle, but the good news is the track is pretty wide, so we shouldn't have any issue as far as finding area to run. We're going to see plenty of 2 wide, probably some 3 wide from the AI. Let's get to it.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, folks, there you have it. We are ready to go, and you notice that we are not starting in the rear. I actually started off that way. That was the plan. But once the race got going, some of the guys at the back of the field were just so far off of the pace I could run, I decided to give it a shot qualifying and just see what kind of speed we had for these guys.
Get ready now. Going
and
green.
It turned out we had top 10 speed, just inside the top 10 qualifying.
Pit cars in.
So let's see what kind of race we can have starting toward the front. I mean, we're not used to this view.
Green flag, green flag. Green, green, green.
I can't see who's starting at the very front. All I can see is, of course, Larson and Logano in front of me. Who is that on the front row? Oh, it's Keselowski. And then, of course, you can see who's on the inside line. Much easier.
Stay high.
All right, so once again, I'm going to try to give these guys some room. Let's see how they behave now that we're closer to the front. There's not as much traffic up here. And already you can see there's some blocking going on. Logano, surprise, surprise.
Inside. Stay high.
So this track definitely does not race like 1.5 miles. Now, it's plenty wide to provide some of the racing that we've seen like the 1.5 miles.
Clear. Inside. Clear.
Right, so far so good. I actually didn't expect to make
32.
this kind of moves on the outside. I actually came down on the 48 there. I did not know he was there on the front stretch. And I caught a glimpse of it just at the last moment there, so I'm trying to give him some room. Looks like he's actually faded back now. So the normal strategy for me is I know these guys are going to be faster than me on new tires, but then over the course of a run, they usually come back to me. And by the end of the run, the last, say, third of a run, I end up being in pretty good shape, and that's when we make up a lot of our spots. But here, we'll have to see exactly how this is going to turn out because we're starting up front. And we're making some good time. We're in the top 5 right now.
31.839
So things may be reversed. It may be that I'm faster than these guys right now, and that as tires start to wear down, they'll come back on me. So we're going to see how all this is going to work out.
Keep high. Clear inside. Inside. Keep high. Clear inside. Inside.
All right, so passing
Clear.
Kyle Larson at Nashville is something that I don't think only happened like once during that whole race.
You're now in third.
Back during, I think that was what? It was June, I think.
Inside.
You can see he's coming back on me now. So again, I'm running more of the middle or the higher side,
Clear.
not the wall.
Car inside. Clear inside.
And I'm not sure if there are multiple groups on this track or not, built in. I have no idea.
32.
The idea is to find out during the race, and so far, we've been able to hold our own up here on the higher side. I definitely think we can run some fast laps down on the bottom, but it's just that I'm trying to find where the car feels the best, the least resistance right now, if you will. Because I figure that's going to be the best for our tires, but maybe not the best for our speed, because right now speed is not an issue. You can see we're here in the top 3.
31.692. Car inside. Clear.
Yeah, the high side is running just fine. Doesn't appear to be any extra grip up here, anything like that. But it just seems to be a very normal transition for the car, whereas getting it to the bottom is a whole lot more difficult. But if you can do it, it appears as though there's quite a bit of speed down there for you.
31.9.
As you can see there,
Stay low. The next car's the leader.
with us and
Clear
Keselowski.
outside.
But yeah, I am essentially completely out of the gas on corner entry. Don't necessarily have to be completely out of gas. Depends on how you're using the gas and the brake. But I'm not using a whole lot of brake at all. Just a little bit on corner entry. Just to try to get the car pointed and allow the car to rotate a little bit.
31.
That in combination with...
771. Okay, you're in second.
And in combination with how I'm using the throttle to rotate the car. But you can see, the 18 car gets away from us whenever I use the higher side. But if I go back to the bottom, we seem to be able to pull in on him. Oh, really tight there coming off the bottom. Got back to the gas a little too quick.
32.
All right, so do we actually have a chance here to take the lead? I don't know. I'm thinking we might. Without pushing the car too hard. I don't want to just, you know, this is a long race, comparatively speaking, so I have no desire to use up the tires trying to get by him right now.
31.
But you can see the guys behind us have started to lose pace, so the two of us, the 18 along with us, we have started to pull away just a little bit from these guys. And I feel like if nothing else, if we just continue to run consistent laps out here, then we can settle this amongst ourselves, at least until we get back around to lap traffic. Now that's going to be a big issue. We got a nice run here. I might try the inside here and see if we've got enough to get by him.
Here comes the leader. Keep low.
Oh, it's so hard to get down to the bottom and keep it there. That sounds a lot like Darlington.
The leader.
You can get there, but it's hard to keep any momentum down there.
Clear outside. Outside.
Yeah, just no momentum down here.
Stay low.
And that's what's going to allow him to stay out there until I can get a good enough entry into the corner to clear him.
Stay low. Clear outside. You're in first.
All right, there we go. We've got him clear. Oh, sneaky.
Still there.
Now he's to the inside. I like it, the crossover move. I don't think he's actually still there, but I'm going to give him room.
Inside.
Because I'm definitely not going to try to cut him off.
Keep high. 32.2.
All right, let's see how good he does on the bottom.
Clear.
Again, I'm going to give him some room down there because I want to see if he can get it done.
Keep high.
It was hard for me to do it down there because it kills the RPMs, it kills the momentum trying to do it down there. Sort of the middle groove of the track, it just feels much more normal as far as the flow of where the car wants to go on entry. And part of that's the banking transitions, what banking this track does have. I forget the exact number. It's somewhere around like 12, 14 degrees, I think. I believe the number is somewhere in there, but I really like the track because it does give you plenty of room to use. I just wish they could have had the resin on the track years ago, back when they were here the first time around. Because it used to be very much a single groove track.
Keep high.
All right, so once again, you can see I'm leaving that bottom open for the 18 because I want to see if he can come back on me.
Inside.
And I have no particular interest in trying to run away with this thing.
Clear.
So you can see these guys are coming back to us now.
9. Car inside. Clear. Inside. Stay high.
So my guess right
Still
now
there.
is that this track does not have multiple grooves,
Clear.
which is perfectly fine. That doesn't change my feeling about this track
Keep high.
at all. But just based on the feel of it, if it does have multiple grooves, it's very faint.
Car inside. 32.
Because the bottom definitely seems to be
Clear.
the fastest groove by a good bit. And as I get up above that resin there, it's certainly usable, but it's just no grip there.
Inside. Still there. Still there. Keep high.
All right, who's on our inside? That is, okay, so it's still Kyle Busch. I know some other cars have come back to the front with him. I just didn't know if he was still the same guy. And again, you can see I'm leaving him plenty of room to see if he can make it happen.
Stay high.
Plus, I'm just pure having fun running the higher side of the track.
Keep high. Stay high. Clear inside. Car inside. Keep high.
Yeah, this track is a lot of fun, precisely because it doesn't have tons of grip, and you do have to spend time out of the gas.
Clear inside.
And
here comes the leader. Car inside.
So again,
car's the leader. Keep high.
I'm not using tons.
3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide, he says.
Inside. Keep high. Clear inside.
Well, that was fun. A little bit of 3 wide there. All right, so we do have some lap traffic out ahead, but you can see Ty Dillon is well out there. Right now.
You are on the point. Inside.
All right, who's coming back to me this time?
Keep high. Clear.
All right, so it's the 18. All right, so he hasn't gone anywhere. I thought it might be Logano because I thought I saw him in
Keep high.
the rear view. There he is again. Okay. I just caught a glimpse of him. Of course, we know Logano is going to be ultra aggressive.
Oh, clear. Inside. You're up top. 3 wide. Inside. The next car's the leader. The next car's the leader. Still there. Keep high. Stay high.
Now we got some racing going.
Stay high. The next car's the leader. Still there. Clear. 32.841. You're back in second.
But the car feels fine. Actually pretty well balanced. If anything, a little on the tight side, which is what I would prefer. As always, this setup is very close to what I've been using pretty much everywhere. I keep making minor tweaks in the practices that I run. Oh, we're halfway. Alright, so that tells me we've got, what, about 22, 23 laps left
Car outside.
in the race, because I think this was a 45-lap race, if I remember.
Here comes the leader. Clear outside. Outside.
Oh, look at that. On the bottom, just,
Stay
you
low.
could just hear the engine. Just no
Stay
RPMs.
low. Clear.
Alright, so the AI don't seem to be able to hang on the
20
top
laps
the
to
way
go.
I can.
32.
Certainly not the fastest, but I can at least hang on up
You're
there.
back in the lead.
But again, give these guys plenty of room down there because I want to see if they can come back on me. That's the fun. This isn't one of those races where I'm going to try to get out here and try to lap the field if I can. Let's get some good racing going.
.325.
But yeah, the car just feels most comfortable somewhere around the middle of the track. The top also feels really nice, so if we had multiple grooves up there, then that could be a lot of fun to run. Because the car feels very natural up there on corner entry based on the way I'm driving it. In fact, getting it to the bottom
32.403.
is much more of a task. Feels much more like I'm abusing the tires to get it down to the bottom, as opposed to just letting it flow in or around the middle of the track. 3 and 4 is a little bit easier to get it to the bottom than 1 and 2.
.288.
Alright, so there's a few guys that are sticking right with us, and then probably 2 or 3 more that are thinking about it. They're in the vicinity, but they can't quite get up here and attack us for the lead the way the 22 have, as well as, of course, here he comes again, that 18 car.
Inside. 32.684. Still there. Clear.
So they're hanging right in there with me. So for the first half of the race, they've definitely been able to be there with me. We'll see about the next half. Alright, so here's Ty Dillon.
Lap down. 32.
And you can see it's going to be quite a while before we get to anybody else. In fact, we might not get to anybody else. The good thing for me about this track is that lap traffic wants to get to the bottom.
Clear inside.
And I don't necessarily want to. So
32.407.
I am perfectly happy to run right up here. 3 and 4 is where I could definitely see getting to the bottom on a regular basis. It's a little bit easier to get down there than 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 just seems to flow quite nicely into the middle or top part of the track, just depending on how I drive the entry. If I get out of the gas a little bit sooner on entry, then the middle of the track is perfect. If I drive it in a little deeper, then the high side is perfect. And the car a little too tight on exit to get back to the gas and stay in it the way I would like.
32.512.
There you can see, if you're looking in the rear view mirror, you can see the 18. He just keeps poking his nose in there every so often. And of course, I am obliging him by leaving the door open.
32.470. We got just 10 more to go. 32.649.
Just 10 more to go, huh?
Inside.
All right, I must admit, that time
Stay
in
high.
turn 1, I wanted to see how high I could get
Stay
it
high.
before really flirting around with that wall too much. Like I was able to get right up there to it. Certainly not fast, but it was fun. I'll grant you that.
Stay high.
And of course,
Clear.
it had the intended
33.2.
consequence of bringing these guys
Still
right
there.
back to me.
Clear.
So I'm just going to continue to give them room here. I want to see if they can pass me. I mean, I'm giving them the entire groove that they want, plus some. And 3 and 4, I will come down the track some because it's starting to feel a little more natural to get down there in 3 and 4. Cars overall still pretty well balanced. Tight on exit.
32.590.
But overall, pretty well balanced. And that right there is about the second groove is about as low as I really want to get on that end of the track. Because the car just does not feel natural getting down all the way to the bottom there like it does in 3 and 4. Still a bit of a stretch even in 3 and 4 for me to get all the way to the bottom.
32.583.
If I want to get to the bottom, yeah, I'm going to have to get out of the gas earlier, even earlier than I am now, or I'm going to have to start using more brake on entry and trying to use that to help turn the car, which I would prefer not to have to do. I don't like using the brake to really turn the car a lot.
32.5.
Not on this type of track anyway. You can see now that I have gone back toward the bottom, not to the bottom necessarily, but back toward the bottom, we're starting to pull these guys some more. So if I try to make my absolute best laps as far as for lap time, we're definitely pulling these guys.
Just 5 more to go. 32.
All right, 5 more.
470.
And I really didn't think we were going to pull the lap cars, but we've gotten much closer than I really expected to these guys. So right now, what I am doing to turn the car here on entry, I lift, but I don't lift completely out of the throttle all at one time. I start adding brake, and then I modulate how much I'm out of the gas based on how much I need the car to rotate. The more I come out of the gas, the more the car rotates. And then that's how I determine how much brake to use as well. If the car is not turning enough to get where I need to be, then I will continue to apply the brake. Again, not a lot of brake at all, but I will continue to hold that steady pressure to it while I modulate the gas pedal in order to get the car to turn the way I want it to and the amount I need it to. And then you'll hear me from time to time in the center of the corner just sort of gas it up a little bit. That's me trying to determine if the car has rotated enough for me to get back full throttle. Alright, so these guys, alright, where are you guys going?
Car inside.
Alright, fortunately we're in no real rush here. We're 2 seconds up on second place, at least for now. I'm still going to give these guys plenty of room, because I just don't know where they're going to go when they're running side by side and this close together.
Car inside. Still there. Clear inside. That car's
So we
lap
lost.
now. Last lap.
Alright, final lap, we lost about a half second to second place there on that lap, just playing around with these guys, trying to give them some room.
Inside.
But you can see just like right there, when these guys try to get too wide, I don't know where they're going.
Keep high.
There we go. We're quickly losing time to second place, but that is not going to matter because we're bringing home the victory.
You won! Why did these other guys even bother to show up?
You gotta love the spotter in this game. You finish outside the top 10, he hates it. You finish just inside the top 10, he loves it. And then of course if you win, he gets really excited. Alright, so overall, that was a lot of fun. I might like to see the AI a little bit faster, so that might be a tweak that I would make if I were going to edit the track itself, any at all. Or you could just simply increase the AI difficulty on the track selection screen. So that is going to do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more NASCAR Racing 2003 season.